CCISD. This is Getting to the Core. I'm Cary Perales.
And I'm Laurie Gomez.
And we're Getting to the core. Awesome. Thank you for being here today.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thrilled.
I was so excited that you're going to be here because we have so much in common.
Yes.
Today we're going to really focus on middle school because I think middle school is a really special time in a student's life, and it takes a very special teacher to teach middle school as well. So I want to just take us back and just think back when you were in middle school. I know we both love fashion.
Yes.
So I was trying to think of the fashion, and I have to say I was pretty hideous looking. I loved neon. Mm-hmm. I remember at the time for me, and I'm older than you, but we had neon socks.
Yes.
And for some reason we wore like lime green, hot pink, and then neon pink, and then lime green. It had to be mixed matched.
It was a layered look.
Yes.
Parachute pants.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yes, with all the zippers and the bracelets.
Yes. Oh, I forgot about the jelly
beads.
bracelets.
Yes.
It was an interesting time.
Yes, it was.
It was interesting.
Hopefully we'll never see any of that fashion again.
I hope not. Unfortunately, I think it's coming back. But the other thing is, I remember in middle school, I left elementary in 5th grade feeling very protected and safe. And then I went to middle school, and I remember being so anxious every day. It was just so different.
Yes.
You didn't have to stand in line anymore. That was a plus. But man, the teachers were different. Everything just seemed different. And I math was scary to me. I liked it in elementary school, but then all of a sudden I was sitting in rows, and I remember that's back in the day with the overhead projector, and we just took notes and literally copied the teacher. Did you have the same experience?
I did. I remember coming into middle school and sitting in rows, like you mentioned, and you had the big bulky textbook, and you had notebook paper, and you would just number from 1 to, it felt like 100, and then you were end up doing all of the odds, and you could check your work. And a lot of drill and kill.
Yes, and I remember
a lot of lecture.
I remember being right with the teacher, but then when I was alone, forget it. Nothing was right. I'd even go back and see what the answer was and try to work backwards, and it still wouldn't help me.
Right.
So it made me think, what was the difference? What was the change? And we don't want that for our students now. So how has it evolved? In now that you're a math specialist, how do you see that evolving now?
Well, my background really is elementary. I spent 13 years as an elementary teacher. And, I have a 3-year-old grandson who has reminded me how conceptual math and problem solving really starts early in life.
Yes.
And that's where we are beginning to see the relationships and the connections between numbers and patterns and colors and shapes. And he's now at ECDC in the pre-K.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's super exciting. And he's just so curious, and he's always looking to discover and explore things and ask a lot of questions. So whenever they enter elementary school, we kind of foster that, that giving students opportunities to explore and investigate. And we give them manipulatives like pattern blocks and unifix cubes and centimeter cubes and even the algebra tiles. That kind of goes hand in hand with that productive struggle that just naturally is there. So, and to me, productive struggle it fosters a growth mindset, which is so important with problem solving, and it gives kids opportunities to begin to believe in themselves. I can do anything if I put my mind to it with effort and perseverance.
Yeah, I had a similar experience where I too was elementary teacher. That's another thing we have in common. And I taught 5th grade. And I remember in 5th grade having those manipulatives, but also having to have them wean off a little bit. We also had math fact wars and stuff, because there were just certain things I had to know.
Right.
And if they didn't know them, they were going to have trouble doing all these multi-step problems. And so I had to do some procedural math.
Right.
If I didn't do that, then it kind of took forever to teach them the harder stuff. But then I had to go back and teach those problem-solving steps and have that conceptual piece there too.
Right.
But then I started teaching middle school. I taught 6th and 7th grade math in Lubbock, and the curriculum they gave me was so procedural, and I didn't have a lot of opportunities to do conceptual. And then some of it, I'm not going to lie to you, I was like, I'm not sure where they're going with this. I need to learn this. I can't teach it until I internalize it. Did you have a similar experience, or how was your transition from elementary to middle school?
Yes. Same thing. I kind of felt like it was all about there's one entry point into this problem. There's one algorithm. There's only one way to solve that. And that kind of stifles what elementary has held. They've prepared students where it's more open-ended. There's more than one entry point. We are celebrating all strategies and all solutions. There's not always a right or wrong answer.
Right.
And that's what I love about our new high-quality instructional materials is that it celebrates the thinking and the process.
Yes.
Because, I mean, you think about it, like we're preparing kids for jobs that haven't even been created yet.
Good point. Yes.
And, you know, future employers are going to be looking for those kids that are innovative and driven and fearless.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we're in middle school and we're telling kids that there is one way to solve this problem and there is a right or wrong, we're like stifling all of that.
Right.
So that's what I love about the Carnegie curriculum, is that it allows for kids to really think through their own problems, work on those metacognitive skills, and kind of gives them opportunities to practice working with others, talking with others, and respecting each other's opinions, because there is not always a right or wrong answer, and there's more than one way to get there.
I'm so glad you said that. And I noticed too, when I've ever gone to any of your PDs, I've noticed that you really embrace the idea of teachers sharing with other teachers, and you're really good at having others share. Because when there is a new curriculum coming in, it can be challenging. And the math committee that created the framework too, really wanted us to look at those pieces. And we even grappled with some of the activities, like, wow, if kids don't know this concept in third grade, then when they get to eighth grade, they're really going to have trouble. So what are some of the things you're noticing with middle school teachers as far as the implementation of having that balance of procedural and conceptual?
A lot of love, a lot of grace given for teachers, because it is a major paradigm shift from what we historically have been used to in regards to our curriculum and just the way that we deliver instruction. So with the high quality instructional materials that we do have now, it does provide a lot of guidance and support for teachers, and giving them those opportunities to come together as a district. And I mean, because we have a wealth of knowledge across the district with
we really
teachers.
do.
And so, I mean, what an opportunity to be able to share all of that with each other in one setting. Yeah, so just those opportunities that they have to be able to work with each other and share their experiences with one another, and then take it back to the classroom. I mean, who wins in the end? The students.
Well, I'm so appreciative how much support you give them, and grace. I'm glad that you said that, Grace, because it is a balance, and balance can be challenging. So if there was one word to sum up the whole experience you had with the math framework and being a part of the committee and just going through this journey these past, it's been 2 years, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 2 years. What would be, if you sum it up in a phrase or a couple of words, what would it be?
It's so exciting to be part of this journey and recognizing the need that we need to be providing a quality education for our students, because we're preparing them for life and the challenges that they'll be faced with, and they'll be independent problem solvers on their own one day, and they'll be part of the workforce in our communities. So
awesome. That was more than 3 words, Laurie.
Sorry.
But you know what? I loved what she said.
Okay.
So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yes,
and
anytime.
I'm Cary.
And I'm Laurie Gomez.
And we're getting to the core.